Well, Peter, I was looking at an online survey that was done for small businesses, and it kind of follows what you were just talking about and what you've talked about on previous podcasts. And I think it's important for small business owners to understand that you could say you are on online doing business. You could say that you are in the social networking world and you're on Google Plus and you do all these things. It doesn't really mean you are doing it correctly. And if you're not doing it correctly online, it could hurt you 1,000 times more than you realize because there are millions and millions of people that see what you put out online. And if it doesn't hit them the right way, you've lost them as a potential client. Just a couple of statistics. I'm not. I mean, I've never seen so much detail on a survey like this in my life, but just a couple of facts I'd like to talk about. It says the majority of small firms, 66%, maintain their website internally, while 30%, down from 40%, 41% 3 years ago, pay an outside company. And they asked the question: do you have an online presence for your business? Uh, Traditional website, 82% yes, 11% no, 6% in development. Mobile website, 18% yes, 49% no, and 8% development. And an app, only 5% have an app, 6% no, and 6% in development. Now, when we talk about what I've learned from you, and you helped me build my website and my mobile website, the importance of having a true mobile website because of the growth of smartphones. You know, it's just exploding. It's going and more business is done by smartphones. More and more advertisement is done by smartphones. And if you say you have a mobile website and it's not a true mobile website, and people go to that, they're going to get turned off. So again, I think the overlying message that I'd like to leave here is that it pays to have someone who is an expert in the field look at what you consider to be your e-commerce business, the whole package. Most small business people can't afford to have on staff of qualified type of guys who has marketing and technical abilities, which is a unique thing. I know, Peter, I'll give you the shameless plug. You have a tremendous review that you'll do of people's websites and get back to them with a podcast video type of a response, and it takes it is the most detailed type of thing that I've ever seen like that, and a merchant can take that and like you have said, go to
Hmm.
someone else or go to you. It's immaterial, but you're gonna get just what you need to do to have a really great marketing site for your e-commerce business, and you get to have a true understanding of what it takes. So I highly recommend that people look into getting their site reviewed by an expert, and make sure you got an expert. You don't have someone who just calls himself an expert, because there's a lot of those around, and we've been in meetings and we've heard people talk, and if the people followed their direction, they'd be out of business probably in 6 months. So, and the second point I want to make, it goes along the same area, is the cybersecurity point of view. Just a quick fact: in the first quarter of 2014, there has been a record amount of companies that have been breached, 233 of them, resulted in 5,171,507 records that have been compromised. That is an all-time record, and the trend is going up every month. Now, the majority of small business firms don't even know a lot about cybersecurity, and I think that it is a very important part of their business. 94% of small firms say that they are very or somewhat concerned about cybersecurity, and 1 in 4 small firms have little to no understanding of cybersecurity issues whatsoever. Another reason to consult someone like yourself, Peter, or an expert in that field on how do you best protect yourself. And the last fact I'm going to leave you with is the average cost with a cyber attack among those targeted was $8,699.48.
Hmm.
Among those whose banking accounts were hacked, the average losses were $6,927.50. The
Hmm.
IRTC says it costs around $88 per record. And if you remember, I quoted the figure somewhere in the over 5 million records were compromised. That is a tremendous profit drain on big, medium, and small companies in our country. And it's something that you really need to have a really strong cybersecurity program in place. And with that, Peter, I'll turn it back to you or whoever is the next one who'd like to talk.